The Horizon scandal is truly shocking, a miscarriage of justice, and one of the most devastating in British history. The scandal has brought devastation to the lives of hundreds of falsely convicted sub-postmasters. Over 20 years on, they and their families are still suffering from the consequences and the trauma of all they have been put through. I pay tribute to their determination in pursuing justice, and I want to pay tribute to Alan Bates and the sub-postmasters who have pioneered this campaign and worked tirelessly to seek justice. Without their bravery and perseverance, the campaign would not have be where it is today. I also want to pay tribute to my right honourable friend, the member for North Durham, for all his work and the campaigning on this issue by Lord Arbuthnot for many years, as well as others in this House and the other House, and members of the Business Select Committee and the Chair. Turning to the legislation, we of course welcome the laying of this legislation today, but before giving a full verdict on the legislation, we will need to properly scrutinise the details and analyse its potential impacts. In the first instance, Mr. Speaker, this legislation does, in our view, leave a series of outstanding issues and questions as to when justice and compensation will be delivered and to whom. First, I'd like to address the territorial scope of the legislation, as it is currently only applying to England and Wales, even though the Post Office is not devolved and the Horizon scandal is a UK-wide Horizon system, and the scandal, in terms of its impacts, is UK-wide. We know there are approximately 30 cases that need overturning between Scotland and Northern Ireland, but there remains a series of outstanding questions as to when sub-postmasters in both Scotland and particularly Northern Ireland will receive justice and compensation. I welcome the Minister's offer of and assurances of having regular dialogue with the devolved administrations, but I'd be grateful if he could provide more detail on how that will work in practice, recognising the different legal processes. Mr. Speaker, additionally, as we know, 80% of the redress budget is yet to be paid out. There remains considerable uncertainty as to when sub-postmasters will receive their compensation. I'm sure we can all agree that the sub-postmasters have waited long enough. The delays are causing further financial distress and further suffering. We note the Business and Trade Select Committee's recommendation of a legally binding timeframe from when an offer is first tabled to when settlement is reached. Even if these legally binding targets are not adopted, what assurances can the Minister give that he will meet his target of ensuring all compensation is out of the door by the end of the year? What mechanisms will the Minister put in place to ensure that there are no further delays? And I know that he is committed to making sure there are no further delays, but sub-postmasters will want to know that that actually happens. And given the recent chaos in the Post Office's leadership, we welcome the decision to take the Post Office out of the redress process. As the Minister said, redress must have independent oversight. We know the Post Office is in disarray, and what we need is focus and efficiency in ensuring compensation is paid to the sub-postmasters as soon as possible. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, the suffering of the sub-postmasters can never come close to being repaid just through financial redress, though it is so important we get this right. The very least the government can do is ensure they receive the fair compensation and exoneration as soon as possible. There are those who've been impacted by the scandal that have sadly passed away, never to be able to see their innocence proven or live to see the compensation they deserve. It is absolutely vital that the government acts with the urgency and speed that's needed to correct this terrible injustice.